Hey y'all, it is Saturday evening. We made it.
Girl, it's a week. Jesus.
This week?
Yeah, right.
Right. And we're like, and we're still on the time crunch. We're like, okay, for this night shift.
I'm so glad I got here though.
I know. Oh my gosh. Okay.
I'm happy to be here.
Listen.
Yes.
For everyone who I know is going to jump on to this live, we have the one, the only Timyiaka Noel.
Yeah.
In the building. When I said
finally,
Sorors, jump into my office and get on tape, she's like, well, between this promotion and these 2 excursions I got to do and these 933 miles I got to put on the car in the next 48 hours, let me just stop by your house for 30 minutes.
Oh, and we here.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Hey y'all. So I am Kishshana Palmer. I am the creator and author of Love Letters to My Sorors, an anthology, a collection of love stories that talk about sisterhood and how it has allowed us to really stand the test of time. I am so excited to have Timyiaka with me this evening because this baby girl here, this fly girl, is my soror. We are both members of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Is my sans because you know Spring '99 was special
and it's popping. It's still popping. Say Spring '99 and we
the last of the Mohicans.
Okay, for sure.
Okay, we slid right.
Yep.
Hey,
like '99.
Yes. Okay, there's a bunch of us. Oh look, Angie's on. Hey Angie. Hey Kate. Hey Desmond. We missed you today. So. We have actually a unique connection because both Timyiaka and I are from citywide chapters. Yes, so Timmy, you want to tell them what a citywide chapter is? So they know, because folks are like, what is that?
Yeah, what is that? Right. So my line sisters come from many different schools around the city. So I went to John Jay College of Criminal Justice. My line sisters went to Hunter. They went to City College. In the chapter, they also come from Marymount, NYU. There's a number of different colleges that a citywide chapter covers, of course. And so that changes as the years continue. So it may be a little different now with respect to certain schools. But again, a citywide chapter literally has members in it that come from many different schools within whatever that catchment area is. Yeah. So my line sisters, it's real fancy. Right. Oh, that's a fancy word. You know, I teach and stuff.
Right. Look, ever since I've followed your footsteps. Yeah. Listen, Timmy said to me, you know, this semester, Sans, I'll be teaching. I said, teaching?
Yeah.
That was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
Yes. And now what you doing?
Oh my gosh, I am teaching. She done pulled me in, y'all. She pulled me in.
That's what we
I was sucker punch.
And good night. It's fine.
It's fine. We lament over how many grades, 90 papers in 2 days. We lament over craziness.
How about that?
Crazy.
It is.
So the city, it's amazing. So the citywide experience, for those of you who do not know or not in members of any of the Black 3-letter organizations, really is a little bit different than an on-campus experience because you are with women, and if you're in a fraternity, with guys who go to lots of different schools. I think that teaches you some special skills, though.
I definitely think so also because, again, we're not from the same school. We're not from any campus in particular.
Right.
And so you get to learn more. I think that you get to learn more being in a citywide chapter because, again, we all have different experiences. And in addition to that, of course, it gives us nice locations that we might need sometimes.
Right?
So you ain't got to always be at John Jay or always be at NYU. Right. Even though we was at John Jay. Whatever, right? That happens, yes. So it definitely gives you access to many different places because, again, we're trying to make a change and not just in one place, but we have the opportunity to impact campuses all over. So literally within our catchment area, it makes sense. And your experiences that you get from those persons that are in the chapter and those persons that you are online with is just very different. And I think that it's unique in its own way. So
absolutely. And I was, you know, I said in a different video, if you haven't gone and seen any of the other lives, grab one. Okay, this one is special tonight. This is a juicy bit tonight. Get ready.
It is.
You know, but like for me, being up in Boston and pledging Zytel, which is in the Cambridge Citywide, and having licenses who went to MIT and to Harvard and to Wellesley, you know, and I went to Bentley and being all over the place, and chapter Sorors who went to Tufts, you know, and to Leslie. We were just like everywhere in the city. And so on the one hand, you really had to learn how to get around, first of all.
Yes.
Number two, you know, people know you and stuff.
It don't matter what, girl. I say Epsilon Tone. They be like, oh, Tanya Guzman and Felicia and Michelle Eichland. Yes,
on my profile.
Thank you very much.
Automatically.
Yes. And they know your history too. They know all your little thing. because they've been around, right? And we super close when it comes to citywide chapters because there's not very many of us, right? So we're all really, really close. And whether you are in a sister sorority or a fraternity, we're all really close. Pro-fights, neos, we out, right? Because we ain't got no choice but to be out. Whether like, we out on Atlantic Avenue or we out at the campus,
you out. It is what it is. And I think that that's something that if you had the opportunity to pledge in undergrad, you know, the undergrad experience is very, very different from campus to campus.
Yes.
And it's also very, very different from
learning experience.
Exactly. So, exactly. And so, but we've been in our organizations, we're coming up on 19 years.
I'm still cute. We look
good though.
We look good.
I got a little dark eye on today, a little smoky.
But girl, it's popping. I love it. This is like what we do.
Right? This is
right there.
I like
for the bronzer.
Yes, come for the bronzer. Because we mamas.
We mamas. We got all kinds of things happening, these jobs and trying to please the world.
So
that happens.
You know, I have been racking my brain. I feel like I stopped racking it recently though, but I have to rack it again when writing this book about like exactly when we met. I know we met the summer that we both were made, and I feel like it was Deltnik, but I didn't step in Deltnik. I know I didn't.
I did because these knees they tell a different story, right?
I know I went to the practices, man.
I think that you stepped though. You didn't step in 99.
I don't feel like I did. Did I quit? I'm not a quitter. I was there, and the reason I know I was there is because I had a job at the DMV down the block. Some of 99 and some of 2000. I know I did, but either way, we met.
Yes, we are.
I have lots of early pictures of us, so I know we met. We should really pull those out.
Yeah, we gotta find them. There's many of them. We take pictures all the time.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But that's the purpose, right? So to be able to hold on to those memories, because God knows when you started this project, beyond excited for you, because this is amazing. And literally every time you have a live session going on, I try to jump on, whether I'm driving, locking somebody up, teaching somebody,
hold on, running after someone.
Like, wait, don't go, right? Because it always makes me super emotional because we don't spend enough time having these conversations. We don't.
Yeah.
And for you to be able to take the time out to invest yourself in all of sisterhood, Kishshana, man, I was like, I got to get there. I got to get there.
Oh my gosh.
And pictures on LIU, like steps, decal, or in the garage practicing.
Oh my gosh, I got to see those.
19 years.
Here we are, and
still good girlfriends, like real girlfriends, right? Not like sorority sisters, sorority girls going wild, but real girlfriends that are invested into each other, our families, and our goals, and the things that motivate us, the things that make us cry.
But you know, everybody doesn't have that experience. Like one of the things I always say is that I feel very grateful through the ups and downs. And I've had some nasty sister experiences. Let me not fool y'all.
You talking about forgiveness over there. I was like, Jesus?
Yes. But everybody hasn't had a wonderful experience. One of the things that's been really interesting for me is I talk with women who kind of hit me offline and talk to me about wanting to participate in the project is that their experience wasn't that great. And so finding a way to talk about how they found their way back or how to find their way back is really hard.
It is, especially if you don't have the right people that grab you or the right people in your chapter or the right people in your circle. That's definitely going to have an impact on what you do and the decisions that you make, right? Yeah. So I don't know. I just feel like we've been blessed, right? And even the good times, the bad times, I think they all speak to the lessons that we've learned and the experiences themselves have made us into the women that we are.
Yeah.
Right. So, and we're dope, and it's on purpose.
It's absolutely on purpose.
From the crying to the texting,
absolutely on purpose.
To email, literally, it's on purpose. And to be here.
It's so crazy.
It is.
So I'm laughing because Angela just said, hi. So we have Sorors who have joined us. Ooh, look, Corey, my number joined. Hey, bro. Hey, that's one of my favorite newts in the whole wide world. You hear me? It's a lot of good newts. Yeah. Okay, so Angie says, I did Step Mistress 04. Angie, I still ain't know you then, okay?
I can't take it.
And my first introduction to the citywide chapter business, she said, coming from the South, she was like...
She definitely from the South, though.
You don't say. Well, Angie, we need to get you up here into my office.
And bring the double Dutch rope with you.
Right.
Remember.
Yes. Bring that double Dutch rope. You hear me? But one of the things that, like, how do you help women who may not have had a sorority experience? A two-part question.
Okay.
Or how do you help women who had an experience of oath driven, because that's what ours is, right? We are bonded, and it's a lifetime commitment, find their way to release pain?
You know, I think that it stems from being honest, right? So a lot of times, as not just Black women, but as sisters, as mothers, as daughters, we have these things that we go through in life, right? And we've titled them these issues, right? These things that we have. And I think that what happens is that we cradle them. They become our own. This is my issue. I'm going to put it in my pocket. This is my issue. I'm going to put it in nature's pocket. Right? And so you don't talk about it. You don't talk about it, and you never know that you are going through something your sister's going through.
Absolutely.
So I think a big part of that is being honest with yourself about what you're going through and being able to communicate with someone. Right? And so for us, I think we do a great job because we share our experience. We will be on the phone like, girl, listen, I need a timeout.
Right.
I need you to help me. I need, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that experience in of itself translates to lifelong lessons.
Absolutely.
And from that, we become the women that we are. And so I always think that if you have gone through a process, whatever that may be, whatever sorority that may be, the sisterhood experience is very unique in of itself, right? Because you have to be able to be open, to be honest, to trust, to be sisterly. To be sisterly.
Say it again for the people in the back.
To be sisterly. That's a big deal.
For the people.
Big deal.
To be sisterly.
And know what it means.
And know what it means. And it's like, to be sisterly as, to me, sometimes at once objective and subjective.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you got to know the difference.
You got to know the difference.
You can't function as if you don't.
You absolutely cannot function as if you don't. And sometimes folks don't get it. In the
moment,
moment,
they don't.
In the heat of the action.
Yes.
Especially when it comes to, what do you think is worse? Not knowing what it is to be sisterly in the heat of the moment of business, or not knowing what it means to be sisterly in the moment of life?
In the moment of life, for sure, right? Because these moments in life, they define you. Yes. Whether you think that they don't, they really do. They really define the decisions that you make and the impact that you have on other people.
Yes.
People will see you and make a decision about you in a heartbeat. They'd be like, oh, that Delta over there.
In a minute,
right? So what does that mean? And what are they looking at, right? So those things become super duper important because they're you. And then it's not just you.
No.
That Epsilon Tau Soror.
That's Soror.
You are your whole entire chapter. So you got to get it together, and you have to be able to have these conversations. And the other thing is that you have to be able to check your soror, and you be okay with it, right? Because we are in a business of making each other better. That's what it should be. After you pledge, you've had this undergrad experience, right? You've done all of these things. Now what?
Now what?
How do you positively contribute to everyone else and to yourself?
Yeah, and I was talking to another one of our fans, Cheryl Sands, actually earlier today about that now what experience. She had very vivid memories of her undergraduate experience. And you know, everybody didn't come in undergrad, right? And if you come in graduate and alumni, that is the process that you were designed to come in for either by circumstance, by choice, and we love you just the same.
For sure.
But we were talking about like not being prepared to make the jump to the business side. And we were doing business undergrad. People sleep and think that we're not doing nothing. We're still handling thousands of dollars.
For sure. We
thousands events,
programs,
and paperwork, and intake,
and conventions, and conferences, and being in one of the most expensive sororities.
And working jobs, and schoolwork.
And families, and that man, girl,
because a lot of us had that, right? Or woman, whatever your predilection,
whatever it is, right?
That happens. It doesn't change. It doesn't change. It really doesn't change.
That's real stuff.
So life is happening, and it's happening fast, and you don't get the like little memo that goes, "Hey, girl, when you move into this next phase, with these grown women of a grown, they've been in the crack pot of life a little bit longer."
Yes, I like that. The crack pot of life.
A little more season.
We gotta stir the pot.
We are the pot. That's what it's happening.
Talk about
how do you prepare for that transition? Like that to me is like, what would you have told your younger self?
You know, I think I did a decent job because my dean, Tanya Guzman, is dope as hell, right? My dean, my profiles, they were always like, this is great, but know that when you get to an alumni chapter, you're not only representing yourself, you're representing your chapter, you're representing your family, you're representing everything that you stand for. Yeah. And you got to be about the business. I pledged young, right? I pledged as a sophomore.
Yeah, me too.
So I had,
we were young, 18. We didn't know what the hell.
The baby in my line, Naima will be like, what are you doing? I
didn't realize you were the baby in your line. I'm the baby in my line.
Oh my God.
This is hysterical.
Yes, so I was the baby in the line. So I was always getting in trouble, right?
Right.
Always weird stuff. I was like, why we... Oh, that's what we do. All right. Well, here we
are.
Right? But again, understanding that transition from undergrad to graduate, to a graduate chapter, to an alumni chapter, is very unique because it is strictly about the business. Yeah. It really is. Like, this is sisterly, and we have some things going on that are great, but we really have some work to do in our communities. And so I think that if I had to say something to my younger self, it would be, girl, get ready. Get ready and be on your P's and Q's. Because I was still out, right?
Yes.
I love some Sigmas, right?
Yes.
I'm like, yes.
Come on, you know me.
Right? I'm doing, we have this. I love my baby. But again, right? So you have to still be confident in yourself. You have to still know, I'm gonna do these things. Yeah. I got to get the chapter meeting. I got to get to these things, right? You
and they don't prioritize. They have to prioritize, and I think that's something that for me, a lot of my neos really struggled with. And if you start out with that struggle and you don't reconcile,
absolutely, or you don't ask questions and you're not honest,
it carries with you.
Right? You'd be 19 years old, like, what was the?
And then you're 25 and you're like,
right. I want to forget. I'm gonna just take a break.
I want to get to the chapter, but and then you're 29 and you're like, let me just take a break. No.
We don't have time for breaks.
We don't have time.
Our community doesn't have time for breaks. Our children don't have time for breaks. We got time for a break.
Hello, lifetime commitment.
I be looking for Paris sometime. I'm like, man, I got to get to me, and I got Delta Gyms. I got
just ripping up the drawers. Like, we're sure
out where? Exactly. Instagram, right?
Exactly.
Because life is happening.
Life is happening, and it's happening fast. And I think one of the things that I discovered, even with you, like, we didn't actually live in the same city until
you traveled a lot.
6 years ago.
Yeah.
And I think when I came back, it was my first chapter meeting. I remember this. And you were in another chapter, and it was your first chapter.
Yes, I was in North Manhattan.
Yep,
because my dean went there, and that's where I knew
I was going. To go. You were like, I go with my
right. That's what my dean said. So here we are.
And
I love North Manhattan.
Yes, they are wonderful.
Great time.
Love them.
Great programs, great events. I still find North Manhattan stuff. I'll be like, whatever. I'm still kicking my pen, right? Because again, you become so vested in not just the chapter, but the community, and the sorors in the chapter. Right? They are. I have some great friends in North Manhattan, so it was a lot. Tolls, parking, or the train, because I was a teenager when I joined. And then it was kind of like, I really need to do service where I live. So that was the biggest. That was the biggest thing for me when I changed and came to Queens Alumni, because I was like, I'm paying a toll, I'm going over these bridges, I'm doing, but my baby go to, and my,
let me get my life.
You know, so to be able to impact our respective communities is really, really, really important.
It is.
And MAC does a great job in North Manhattan, and we do a great job in Queens.
We do.
And so we have to be able to be as productive and efficient as possible. And for me, that was making the transition. So when I went back to Queens and then saw you, I was like, Jesus! Thank you so much. This is where I'm supposed to be. This is it.
And the squeezing in the hunger. I remember that. And we were like, lunch, dinner.
And we literally.
And
that's
Houston's
what happened.
Was our thing.
Right?
Oh my God. Before they close. You know they close.
I know. I'll still be driving by like, maybe they're going to come back.
I keep wishing.
That didn't happen. I was like, so
we live in suburbia, y'all. Okay, so we like to drive and park the car in the parking lot or the mall,
like outside,
or the place, out the place. We don't want to circle the block 97 times.
This is what I'm saying. Right. I don't want to do that. I want my spinach to be hot. Get in it.
Right. See, so, and we just were like breaking bread on a regular, just talking.
And I just felt like we didn't skip a beat. I felt like we didn't skip a beat. It had been a significant amount of time since I saw you. And I was like, oh my God, I got to tell you about this, my life.
Right. You were like, hold please. We need to the photos.
Like, you're like, let's go back.
Let me catch you up right here.
And exactly. And that in itself is its own conversation, because again, you still have to be able to, I need to bring you up to speed to where I'm at, because I need you to understand.
Yeah.
And I needed you. And I have not had a time in my life where I needed you and you weren't there. So to have you now so close,
it's so like,
you're like, that's for me. That's my blessing from God.
And you know what's so crazy about? I remember like the first time we just went out and we had dinner together. Like first time fell apart. Like that was it was done. But the second thing that was like, I was going through some crazy stuff, and you just like absorbed. You were married to somebody's child. I was trying to be married to somebody who was married.
I remember.
All right,
because the
brackets. There was a whole thing that happened in between that was trying. Hey, Sorors, who joined on?
Hey, y'all.
Listen. We were dealing with some stuff at that time. And I didn't have anything other than we were saying that we hadn't seen each other in a real long time. And we had that early teenage love. Like we had love fast.
I know.
And you had zero judgment. I mean, y'all, like there is nothing like when you have a connection with someone and with lots of someones that if you could just lay yourself bare. out and be like, this is it.
Kind of way.
You're not even waiting for the ball to drop. You just like, it just is.
It is what it is.
And kindly get the spatula and scrape me up.
Yeah. And sometimes that comes with tears.
It does.
It comes with silent moments that
talk
speak
about
for
it
themselves, right? Because you will be caught up in some stuff not having good conversation with your girlfriends.
Absolutely.
And your girlfriends, your sorors, my sins, like not to be able to talk and communicate and lay yourself bare, to have somebody say, I'm sorry, I need you to not do that because that doesn't make any sense. Let's figure it out together. That's what becomes important.
Let's figure it out
together, right? That's what becomes important. So even when you and Deanna was talking yesterday, I was like, no, don't go. Because that emotional connection that you have to your soror, who's really your good girlfriend, is important. It really is. I was like, I could stay up here and listen to y'all all night because, again, it makes you think of so much. You know what I mean?
And what I feel like one thing I admire about you, like when I was picking the chapters for the book, the chapter that I picked that reminded me of you, I mean, there's so many, but the one that like I wrote and said, this because I know Timmy. And because, you know, when you write from your own perspective, right? Yes. Was the business of sisterhood. And when I first wrote it, I wrote it like people who handle business, Sorors who handle business. But when I wrote it again, it was like, she's the one who you think might have it all together. She's the one that you think is right, who's doing 37 things with only 35 hours of stuff. Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
That's real stuff.
People aspire to be like her. And yet, I mean, that's weight.
Yeah.
Like, you carry weight.
It's a lot.
You carry weight. That's a responsibility.
I carry it with humility. You know why? Because I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to want to cry and laugh and jump and yell and be angry and be hot all at the same time. And still have to hold it together because you got a meeting to run into and you got to put your game face on. Yeah. Nobody got time for all that. Right? People like, suck that up. You good? Okay, great. Here we are back to business because that's where people are at. But when do you take that time to say, I need you right now? Yes. Right? Like, I'm putting my ex-husband stuff out on the porch. I need that's a good idea.
And I'm like, do you need boxes? Done? What are we doing? How hot is it about to be?
Hot as hell. It was hot as hell.
It was hot as hell.
So you ain't speak. I speak to in a long time in the clutch. Like, hey, Soror, everything all right?
Right.
Nope, everything ain't all right.
They're
somebody
like,
help.
What address are you at? Okay, click. And
good night. And Sorors will drop. Your sister friends will drop things in a heartbeat to come to your aid. Yeah. And even if that means to just sit with you and listen and talk and go crazy and not get caught by the police, whatever it is. Hey,
whatever it is. And I think that there are lots for all of us who have had some sort of, hey, Corey, for some of us who have had some sort of experience like this times a million.
Yes, absolutely.
Like the reason that I found that it's been so hard to put these examples like into words all the time is because they are just like these micro moments that are happening all the time.
These
like
puzzles that you put together and it just, when it gets into place, you're like, there it is.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Exactly. I think that's what it is. And I think that that's the beauty to me of having love letters to my sorors. Angela says she's doing 37 things on 2 hours of sleep and keeping track of those 37 things.
In July.
In a planner. Look, Angela, she the reason why this year I actually bought a paper planner for the first time in like 5 years.
It gotta be visual.
I still got
my like, what's that? What's the red? What's the...
But the paper planner has the vision board in it this time. And I can write
it. Has to. You have to have motivational quotes. You have to have things that uplift you in them times when you can't like talk to you. I turn the page. Oh, that's for me. We're gonna do something amazing today because tomorrow is coming. It's coming. Whether you're ready or not, it's coming. So yeah, I sleep in July, but I'm productive throughout the year.
You are.
And then sometimes things happen, right? Sometimes you need a break. I'm like, you doing this project, I gotta make it there. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to Albany tomorrow because we got a bunch of recruits in the academy, right? I can't be like, sorry, Kishshana got this project. But again, you gotta make time for things that matter.
And thankfully, you have women in your life who are sorors and women who are not sorors who will force you to sit down, as you like to say it.
That's some
and
real
rest.
Stuff.
So if your internal clock don't turn it off,
that's some real
the joy of having good women in your life. And I think that's why the love letters to my sorors, all the letters are going to be written in this go round by women who are from Black Greek letter organizations, Latina Greek letter organizations. But they're not just for us, right? Because all of us are exhausted by fake sisterhood. I call it like faux fur, faux sisterhood.
Flip your hair.
Collaboration over competition, girl.
No, bye. My life is a mess.
Thanks. And you're like, oh, it is? Sorry to hear.
Right. I'll talk to you later.
Right.
You don't really care about me.
You don't care about me. Did you stop to hear?
I was crying when you asked me how I was doing. No, all right.
You know, one time I said out loud, like, oh my God, if I didn't say anything for the next week, who but a small circle of my friends would notice?
Right, exactly.
Right?
And I'd be at your door like, I'm sorry, you didn't answer
my door.
You'd be at the door like, I'm sorry.
Excuse me, I called to check in, and there was no response. You normally respond right away. So
then I'm calling Angie like, did you speak to Kishshana today? Because I ain't speak to her in the last 10 hours.
Right, like I just need, like someone hasn't. I do it now. I didn't hear from Angie for a couple days. I literally left a voice note. Hey,
I wouldn't have known.
Right, I go, you're going missing.
Right.
No one likes it. Bye.
Right.
Click.
Thank you very much.
You know, so, oh, hey, Veronica. Yes, I'm so excited about this book, too. Please make sure you pick a letter.
Yes, pick a letter.
So let me walk you guys real quick through the chapters. So there is, if I can remember all of them, you know, there are 12 of them, y'all. First, go to www.loveletterstomysorors.com. Yes. Okay, that's first and foremost. If you go to submit your letter, you're going to find an explanation for how to do it, the rules, as in,
these are things you're supposed to do, and these are things you ain't supposed to do.
Thank you very much. No perps allowed. We will find you. The whole squad across the whole D9 financial online. We will find you.
19 years, 20 years. The Neos, they know.
The Neos,
they got their info.
We got you. Okay. Second thing, do not disparage your organization. No slick talking out your mouth. Keep that stuff in house. We understand. This is for the glory, not the gory. We're not getting expelled. Be clear.
And this book needs to happen.
It needs to happen.
Be a part of it not happening.
Thank you. Third thing, don't drop no secrets, okay? Don't nobody want it. Now, I'm gonna say a disclaimer. Many of us have chosen pathways that we can speak about in certain types of code that the ones who understand the code will know. Got it? So if the code happened after 1990, careful.
Ooh, be careful because they watching too.
Just saying. Now,
and I ain't finna have
the topics. Right. You hear me?
Ain't nobody
snatch these letters.
Working way too hard. I'll be like, I'm sorry, I need to tell you something.
I would send somebody a check or an invoice. How much money have we spent in 19 years? Hold on. Deposit.
Ain't nobody doing that.
Calculator.
Divided by.
Multiplied.
All these years.
Times the hater tax.
Equal girl bye.
Right. Girl bye.
Go bye.
We'll come see you.
We coming for you.
Okay? This be clear.
For a nice conversation.
A nice conversation. Conversation. Because we are good.
We are
women.
Yes, we are.
Okay?
Church and morning.
All of it.
Yep.
So, topics. I almost didn't make it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Now, these are for y'all who y'all know y'all should have been on Spring 92.
Lord have mercy.
But you ain't come to see the folk till Spring 95. Because something happened. These are for y'all who
that happens.
The one professor ain't turn in the GPA situation.
It was like a 2.4.
0.999.
And
you ain't make the cut. All right.
Almost didn't.
So then something magical happened. Magically everything worked out. You were on.
Yep.
Okay. That's for you. We want you to talk about your story about how you had to wait and how you almost didn't make it and that things just moved.
Right.
Who was the soror or sorors that made it possible? Talk about your experience and talk about her. We want you to talk about the fact that it was worth the wait.
How about that?
And so for those of you all, like, to me and I had the experience that we just showed up like
hey,
we here to do work.
We've been working. What you need?
That's the Disney version of what happened. I'm just saying. I'm just letting y'all know. Thanks. Okay. But here we are, right?
Yes.
Everybody didn't have that experience. Some folk had to wait this out. Some folks' chapters were off the yard. Some folks' chapters were a hot mess.
Sometimes things just went down the wrong way.
Right.
You thought you made it,
but then you realized you ain't really
make it.
You did, but you didn't.
Like, nah, sorry.
And they was like, nah. And so
wait a minute.
Then you have to come.
Because that happens.
That happens. It does. It does. Sometimes you pop up and you're like 40 and you go, oh my God.
Here we are. I'm ready now.
Angie said some of us got that call from the regional director.
How about that?
Facts. We want you to write about that experience of that it was worth it.
Yes.
That you are doing the work and you are in it and you are and look, we don't care if you're financial or not at this moment. Like we're not here for the money.
It's not about that.
It's not about that.
Although you can donate to this project because
as you absolutely should by going to bit.ly/invest in Love Letter Soror. I'm just saying. Break it down because the project is not going to happen. And you were my first investor.
I had to be your first investor. I couldn't. I was like, I don't know. Pull over.
She was like, no one has donated yet. I was like, it's not live yet. She was like, well, I'm the first.
Here we are. I'm the first.
Okay, so invest in what? In us.
Absolutely.
This is what you're investing in.
You're investing in each other.
Absolutely.
I was like, this your project. I don't care what it was. I was like,
balloons and rainbows. Here I am.
Yeah.
I was like, no, but it's about us though.
Yeah. Great.
And then we have other great topics. We have everything from things I would tell my younger self, my legacy for those of us who have girl children.
Yes.
Or sisters or goddaughters. Delta is not, we're not a legacy organization, but other organizations are.
Right.
When you have that lineage that you can be a part of or are a part of, talk about that experience. Talk about your special.
We got some
special.
We got some good special.
Good special.
We got some good special. And we treat them
We
good.
treat them
They
so
treat
good.
us
Treat us good. I've been seeing them when my specials is older than this, setting me out on a regular. I'm like, what did I do to deserve this?
God, them
Your
bless
specials
me.
are real nice though.
They are.
They
I
are.
love
Them all. They possess them.
They possess us as hell.
I'd be afraid.
I know. Sometimes I'll be afraid, so I'll be like, Jesus, if you can see me, please talk to all these, right? Sasha, Sadiqa.
Lord, you're like, Lord have mercy.
Oh my God, so many. I love them all.
I love them all. Write a letter to your line sisters. If y'all ain't quite right, you know, some of y'all got y'all 10 that y'all rock, 36 y'all don't. Write a letter to your line sisters, okay? Sure. If you have wronged a soror, a sans, a pro-fight, okay, in your organization or out, say I'm sorry.
That's a big deal, Kish.
If somebody wronged you and you don't even quite remember the details of the wrongdoing, but the feeling still remains, forgive them.
Yes.
Y'all hear me?
Yes. That's
There's so much.
It takes a lot of work to forgive. I started that. I'm just want you. I know the deadline.
You started forgiveness now?
But I did, and
it's
keep.
painful. Woo. You need more wine.
I'd be like, where's the bottle at? What am I doing?
That letter's about to be like
the letter.
I love you.
Oh my God.
That's gonna be 3 words.
Peace out.
6 words.
I have to write this letter.
That's actually a dope letter. Like, dear Kish, I love you. I forgive you.
Oh, God.
Peace out.
Done. Right.
Listen, y'all. It's Sisterhood Month. Thanks, Corey. Yes. March in Delta Sigma Theta is Sisterhood Month. I think in most organizations we celebrate some sort of sisterhood, and it is Women's History Month. Absolutely. This is the perfect time to pour into the women who mean something to you. Write the letter. I taught Timmy a trick last night.
Oh my God!
Do it in voice notes.
I started doing that trick for everything. I was like, babe. He was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Kishshana told me how to like do this thing in the notes." The kids was like, "You just learned that."
Right. Our kids make us feel dumb all the time, by the way. Okay. But like, if you think like you can't write, but you commute on the train, put your earbuds in, go into your notes in your phone, go into the microphone, press it and hold it and talk.
Then you can edit it.
Edit it later. We're gonna have a letter writing night next week.
Oh, next week. Oh, I'm here. I'm back.
Which is virtual.
Oh,
wherever.
I'm here. I love it.
Well, you also can come here.
I know.
But I'm just gonna be online and hang out with everybody. And so we're gonna make sure everybody has their wine, their sangria, their mocktails if you don't drink, your coffee, your tea, whatever you do. Right. You know, you do. That's all right.
Church in the morning.
That's it. And we're gonna get this done. You know why? Because there are millions of us. It should be no problem. All I am looking for are 400 letters to choose from. You know,
that's awesome.
For the choosing,
because the choosing has to happen.
The choosing has to happen
because everybody ain't go.
We are going to blow this out, and we cannot do it without you. Timmy, it has just been such a pleasure to have you.
I'm so excited to be here. Oh, I love you so much.
I love you so much.
Y'all write them letters, send the pictures.
Yes,
all of that. Those pictures that you look at, like, dang, I remember
that. Just make sure they high res, y'all. Okay, or truly old. One or the other. Like, don't do like crazy selfies that are fuzzy because I'm using most of this work.
In the picture because remember,
our organizations are watching. You are always wearing your letters.
For sure.
Most of the photos I'm going to use you all for. Anyone who wants to send me photos are going to be for either for social media. It might be for some teasers I'm going to do in terms just to kind of keep getting the word out, and for our Facebook or our website. So they are not going to be used in any crazy old way. This project is 150% Disney ready. Okay, except for some tear-jerking stories that we keep getting offline. But we want you to feel included and involved. If you have any questions, info@loveletterstoMySorors.com. Timmy is tagged in this video. She'll be able to answer questions. She's on the activation team. We are looking for more than Deltas to jump in and hang out with me in my office. I live in Queens, New York. Okay. Hello. We want you to come on in and hang out.
We are all sisters.
And they are beautiful and wonderful. And we want them all. This is not a Delta project. This is a project for all of us.
Absolutely.
Chantel says, how might this book be helpful to those who are thinking about joining a sorority? Fantastic question. Yes. This book will be helpful to you if you are thinking about joining a sorority. If it feels confusing to have this sort of big gap between history that sort of stops at a certain point for any of our organization, history book stopped, then the smattering you see on the internet, the overlay of all the sensationalized, it will. All the hazing, sensationalizing stuff, and then strolling and stepping. Like, There's so much we do than
so
that.
Much more.
So this will help kind of give you like life, and it'll give you like color, it'll give you richness, it'll give you the nuance of why we stay when we don't be bothered.
Right, exactly, because we grown.
We grown.
We got real life things happening.
Exactly.
And I think that it's also going to help that person understand what true sisterhood is.
Absolutely.
Because these letters, people are pouring into the letters, and it just speaks volumes, right?
Absolutely.
So I think that all the lines we bring in, I think that sisterhood is usually the biggest reason why people join a sorority.
Yeah.
And may not even really understand what sisterhood actually is, right? Mm-hmm. It is the core of everything, right? And so literally you start to realize a lot of the other women around you, they want the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not unique to you.
It's not
we
unique.
all want great sisterhood.
Yes.
We all want good sister friends.
Come on, who we can giggle with and laugh with and tell inside jokes.
Yes, for sure. So it's definitely going to help answer those questions. And I think that it's going to speak to everything that has made anyone curious about what is sisterhood.
Absolutely. Well, listen, you all, we have hung out with you for 35 whole minutes. Hey, Rakiba. Listen, Rakiba is like she's my dream girl because she is the leader of so many amazing women-focused and Greek groups online. She is my AKA Dollface. I love her so bad. Yeah, she is an educator extraordinaire. Love her down. Rakiba, I am dying to get you on Facebook Live with me so we can chit chat about your experience, because I've known her dog years. Awesome. So excited for everybody who's hung in here with us for any part of this live. We are figuring out how to make sure that you all see more richness to our stories and share this with everyone. Make it public, share it, tag your peoples.
Everyone.
And don't just say, this is cool. Say, get your life, join the movement.
And hurry up.
Hurry up.
Popping right
okay? www.loveletterstoMySorors.com. The campaign is live. I've got 15 days to raise $25,000. We can absolutely get that done. Okay, that's bit.ly/invest in Love Letter Soror. I love you all.
Yes, we love
Please
y'all.
hit me if you have any questions. And thank you for hanging out with us.
Thank you, my girl. You're welcome, baby girl.
So good. Good night, y'all.
Good night, everyone.